Ciao amici e bentrovati. Come state oggi? Spero bene. Allora, oggi vorrei parlare della differenza tra due verbi molto comunemente usati in italiano. Questi sono i verbi essere e stare. Allora, siete pronti? Va bene, iniziamo. Allora, come vedete, fa molto freddo oggi. Sono 0 gradi
centigradi.
So as you can see, guys, the snow is behind me. We just had a storm a couple of days ago. And today it's nice and chilly. 0 degrees Celsius, or of course, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So, anyway, let's continue with our verb comparison between the verbs essere and stare. Now, with the verb essere, this means to be, as in, I'm American. Sono americano. The verb stare means to stay, but it can also mean to be. For example, when I ask you, come stai? Or plural, I'm asking you, voi, come state? I'm asking you all, how are you doing? Right? But we'll see in other cases where the verb stare can mean to stay, as if I'm staying in a hotel, for example. Okay? But let's start with the verb essere, to be. Now, the verb essere can be used to express the temporary or permanent state of something or someone. Okay? And generally be followed by an adjective, such as a red car, una macchina rossa. Or it's a boy, un maschio. It's a girl, è una femmina. Okay? Okay, this is considered a permanent state. Let's have a look at something where we would describe personal characteristics, for example. If I'm saying to you once again, io sono americano.
Sono del
New Jersey. I'm American and I'm from New Jersey. These are permanent characteristics. Or if I'm telling you who I am in life, what do I do? Io sono un insegnante. I'm a teacher. Or io sono un insegnante di lingua italiana. Or let's say I'm a musician. I'm a pianist. Io sono musicista. Io sono pianista. Okay? I'm telling you who I am. Right? So I'm using the verb essere, to be. Now, it can be also used to describe physical characteristics. Okay? Such as, I'm short. Io sono basso. If you want to say, she's tall. Lei è alta. Or he's tall. Lui è alto. Okay, you can also use the verb essere when describing animals. For example, that's a beautiful dog or cat. È un bellissimo cane. Or, è un bellissimo gatto. A beautiful dog or cat. Or if you're describing an object, for example. Okay? A red car. Una macchina rossa. Or, a blue pen. Una penna blu. Okay, for example, also you might say, it's a big house. È una casa grande. Okay, you're describing some physical, permanent characteristic. È una casa grande. So again, we use essere to describe personal characteristics, who we are, what we do, personal physical characteristics, and for animals and objects. Okay, now, you can also use it to describe, say, a temporary emotional state, such as today I'm feeling happy. Maybe I received some good news, I'm feeling particularly happy today. Or I'm feeling sad today, or maybe at this moment I'm mad, I'm angry. So I could say something like, Oggi sono molto felice. Today I'm very happy. Or I'm a bit sad today. Oggi sono un po' triste. I'm a bit sad. Or right now maybe I'm angry at something, right? Adesso sono arrabbiato. I'm angry. I'm mad. Okay? So again, you're not using stare in this case, even though it's a temporary situation, a temporary feeling that I have, right? Or in a temporary emotional state, I'm not saying io sto felice, io sto triste, io sto arrabbiato. I'm not using stare in this case. Okay? I'm using essere to describe something temporary. Again, sono felice, oggi sono un po' triste, sono arrabbiato. Okay? Now again, essere can also be used to describe, say, a temporary location. If you're calling me and asking me, where are you now? Bob, dove sei adesso? I might be in my car driving. Sono in macchina. Adesso sono in macchina. Sto arrivando a casa. Or maybe I'm at church right now. Sono in chiesa, in the sense that I'm in the church. Sono in chiesa. Or I'm at the library. Sono in biblioteca. Again, I'm in the library. Sono al lavoro. I'm at work. In general, sono al lavoro. Maybe I'm in the office. Sono in ufficio. Okay, once again, I'm describing a temporary location using the verb essere. Okay, now you might be thinking that you can use the verb essere to describe certain physical feelings, such as I'm cold or I'm hot, or I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. In this case, you would not use the verb essere. You would use the verb avere, for example, to say I have. So if you want to say I'm hot or I'm cold, you would say ho caldo, ho freddo. Literally like saying I have, okay, in the sense of heat or cold. But we don't say I have hot, I have cold. We say I'm hot, I'm cold, in the sense that I'm feeling hot or cold right now, right? So you would use the verb avere in that case, and you would say something like ho freddo, ho caldo. You would also say something like I'm hungry or thirsty. You would also say ho fame, ho sete. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. I'm right or wrong. You would say ho ragione, ho torto. I'm right or I'm wrong. Also, if you're telling someone how old you are, you wouldn't say io sono 35 anni. You would say io ho 35 anni. Okay, I'm not 35 years old. Io ho 53 anni. I'm 53 years old. So that could lead to some confusion also when you're trying to apply the verb essere and translating that from English, thinking you could say I'm cold right now. I'm cold right now. No, you wouldn't say sono freddo. You would say ho freddo, in the sense that I have it. Or I'm hungry. Ho fame. Not sono fame, not I'm hungry, but ho fame. Using the verb avere, to have. Again, same with the age. Okay, maybe you're 20 years old, maybe you're 10 years old. Okay? Ho 20 anni, ho 10 anni. Now, moving on to the verb stare. Again, could mean to stay or also to be. Also can lead to some confusion. Generally speaking, when you're asking someone how are they doing, you would use stare. And I think we all know that. We've seen that in other lessons as well, right? With the greetings and salutations lesson, when you're asking someone, come stai? Tu, come stai? The familiar version, the familiar conjugation, right? Or the polite version would be lei, come sta? And then I would respond and say, io sto bene, grazie. That's using the verb stare. So in that sense, it means to be. Now, we can also use the verb stare to indicate a temporary place or position of someone, such as the verb restare, to remain. For example, if you're saying something like, he's staying at home as usual. Lui sta a casa come al solito. Or, for example, I'll be home on Sunday. Domenica sto a casa. I'm just speaking in general. Sunday, I'll be at home. Domenica sto a casa. Okay? As opposed to me saying, right now I'm home, where we saw before when I said, adesso sono in casa, I'm home. You might be asking me about Sunday or Saturday. I might just say something in general like, domenica sto a casa. Sunday I'll be at home. Right? Or for example, if you're traveling for business, let's say. Okay, you're traveling to New York. Okay, you might say, quando vado a New York, sto in albergo. Okay, generally when I go to New York, I stay at a hotel. So in that sense, it's to stay. The verb stare is to stay. Quando vado a New York, sto in albergo. Sto in albergo. Okay, you might also use it to say something like, I'm on my way. Sto per arrivare. Or sto arrivando. I'm almost there. I'm arriving now. You can also use it to say when you're standing up, okay? Sto in piedi. Literally, I'm on my feet. Sto in piedi. Sto in piedi. I'm standing up. You can also use it to give a behavioral command. For example, be quiet. Stai zitto. Or, be careful. Stai attento. You can also say something like, stay still. Stai fermo. If you also want to say to someone, stay well, be good. Stammi bene. Sta buono. These are some idioms that are used also with the verb stare. Okay, I want to note also that in Italian dialects, particularly in the South, you might hear someone using the verb stare to describe something like, sto stanco, I'm tired. Whereas you would say something like, sono stanco, in standard Italian, right? As we said before, sono felice, sono triste, sono stanco, I'm feeling tired. You might hear them use stare in the South because it's very much used in Italian dialects. It also has a very practical use when speaking in the gerund form or using il gerundio, okay? The continuous action, such as I said before, sto arrivando, okay? Like I'm on my way. Sto arrivando. Or the kids are sleeping. Stanno dormendo, okay? The gerund form, okay? Or let's say he's working right now. Adesso sta lavorando, okay? Or right now, io sto lavorando. Sto insegnando, okay? The gerund form, a continuous action. Okay? So that really describes the difference between essere and stare, and I know that this could lead to some confusion, but in general, once again, the verb stare used for asking someone how they're doing. Come stai? Io sto bene. Lei come sta? Sto bene, grazie. With the verb essere, again, it can be used for permanent or temporary situations, right? Again, io sono americano, I'm American, that's permanent. Io sono alto or io sono basso, physical characteristic, whether I'm tall or short, right? Also, when you're describing animals, as I said before, also, temporary feeling, an emotional state, you would use essere, feeling happy or sad. Sono triste, sono felice. Okay? And again, temporary location. Sono in casa, as we saw in those examples before. So once again, I hope this helps to shed some light on the differences between essere and stare. And now I will leave you once again with some practical sentences in Italian.
Sono americano. Sono un insegnante, for both masculine and feminine. Sono un insegnante. È un maschio. It's a boy. È una femmina. It's a girl. Io sono felice. Io sono triste. Sono stanco. Sono arrabbiato. Sono in casa. Sono in chiesa. Ciao, come stai? Io sto bene, grazie. Sto molto bene. Lui sta a casa come al solito. He's home as usual. Domenica sto a casa. Sunday I'll be home, as in I'll be staying home. Quando vado a New York City, sto in albergo. When I go to New York City, I usually stay at a hotel. Stai zitto. Stai attento. Stai fermo. Stammi bene. Sto lavorando adesso. Stanno dormendo. Sto arrivando.
Allora ragazzi, è tutto per oggi. Di nuovo vi ringrazio per aver guardato questa lezione e spero che vi sia utile. So until next time, buon apprendimento e ci vediamo nella prossima lezione. Arrivederci.